10 separate.
Back over there at Cheltenham. Votsa's Pride, just a little toey. You can just see her legs down behind barriers 5 and 4, and they've got a strap behind her and trying to bring her up. And this is a tactic that's used quite widely over there in Adelaide to get the runners into the barrier. Normally here in Melbourne we just use weight of numbers, and sometimes that seems to be a little more persuasive. But Votsa's Pride, with all the attendants clustering around now, and looks as though they might have got it. Alf Matthews getting back into the stalls, back aboard Votsa's Pride. Starter is going to the platform, and soon we'll see the red light flashing on top of the gates for the red medal handicap, the third. 1,000 metres, a field of 15 to run. Votsa's Pride looks just about right. All of the others in the stalls very well behaved. So we're just waiting for Alf Matthews to get ready aboard Votsa's Pride. There's the red light now, and they're off.
They go now, and they're racing at last. Atlas Shrugged jumped away fairly, slow out Votsa's Pride and Tuneful Melody, and away very quickly out wide Lapidary. Showing good speed too is Mr. Athos on settling down, and with it going quickly Pandy Sun. Going through a Math the inside, and Lapidary out wide, followed by Global Maestro. Town Dancer in that division too as they come to the turn. Liberty Arch getting back there with that division, and also in that pack Wazovic but wide. Then came Atlas Shrugged, and they were followed around them by Cadesta, Jubilee Echo, further back Lady Nile, Tuneful Melody, well back in the field Avion Roulet. Then came Votsa's Pride, dropping to the tail now as Global Maestro in the straight, and getting through a Math the inside, and on the outside Mr. Athos. Coming at them though Lapidary, a Math and Mr. Athos together. He's getting the head up, Mr. Athos, and a Math the inside. Now Lapidary claims the pair. It's a Math racing a little greenly, hanging on from Lapidary. Lapidary, and on the inside a Math. He's extravagant, a Math, but it might have got there. A Math maybe from Lapidary. Wazovic third, I think, in advance then of Mr. Athos. They were followed by Cadesta, Jubilee Echo, and also Liberty Arch. In that division too was Pandy Sun, then Tuneful Melody. They were followed then by further back Atlas Shrugged, Lady Nile, Votsa's Pride, Global Maestro, one of the last ones, Hometown Dancer, and about last of all was Avion Roulet.
Right, the judge will call for the photo without a doubt in Adelaide, but as called by Ron Pep.
Right on time, 3 o'clock, the light goes on, and they're racing. Caught them in a reasonably good line too. Between Ourselves took a while to get going. It's last with King Phoenix next to last, and getting away well Longwood Lad. Lord Galaxy over on the inside. It's up sharing the pace too, and Daring John is there with Reputed and Bicentenary. And they were followed then by Bright Scholar, about 3 lengths to Between Ourselves, Vespucius, and a length and a half away King Phoenix. Past the 800, nothing really wanting to lead. Lord Galaxy holding the inside with Daring John and Bicentenary there. Reputed in the centre, and Longwood Lad. They've got out about 5 lengths now to Bright Scholar. Between Ourselves commencing to make ground from Vesuvius. And last of all is King Phoenix. On the corner, still 4 in line. Lord Galaxy, Reputed, Daring John and Bicentenary, the 4 of them. 3 lengths to Between Ourselves. King Phoenix taken about 10 wide, and then Longwood Lad in the straight, 4 in line still. It's Lord Galaxy, Reputed, Daring John and Bicentenary, and King Phoenix coming at them. Between Ourselves trying to get through in the centre. It's still about 4 or 5 in line. Daring John might just have his head in front of Reputed and Lord Galaxy. King Phoenix the outside, Daring John in front. King Phoenix coming at him, Daring John, King Phoenix. King Phoenix has got there. He's got up a nose from Daring John. Maybe Reputed third from Lord Galaxy, Bicentenary, Between Ourselves, Bright Scholar, and a gap to Longwood Lad and Vespucius. Hi, gee, what a great run all the way. 4 of them in line from the start until near the finish when it was 5. And the judges called for the photo to separate King Phoenix down the outside from Daring John in the centre, and the third placing will go to Reputed. Number 1 is the winner, King Phoenix, ridden by M. Gorham. Number 1, King Phoenix, M. Gorham first. Number 6, Daring John, C. Din second. And number 4, Reputed, ridden by G. Willets, was third. 1, 6 and 4. Oh, what a race that was. 4 of them in line all the way until the 100-metre mark, and King Phoenix was joining them to make it 5. Daring John got nearly a length in.
Tap.
Yes, Ian, you're quite right. A lovely tribute by the Sydney Turf Club Committee to call this important race after the man who first dreamed up the idea of a classic 2-year-old event in the autumn, and it was his wife who actually came up with the name, the Golden Slipper Stakes, in 1957, when the first winner, Todman, collected a cheque for £6,000. Gee, there have been some mighty horses successful in this race in recent years. Manicato won it twice, Emancipation won it twice, and last year we saw that great little filly Heat of the Moment score in a driving finish, ridden by Jim Cassidy, and Jim rides Magic Flute in this year's race, again a 3-year-old. Ken, she's been pretty well tried, I notice. In fact, backed in shortly, a short time ago, 5s into about 9-2 in the ring, Magic Flute.
Yes, John, Magic Flute, 3-year-old filly. She's got an excellent chance. She's owned by Channel 9 man, Mike Willisey, these days. And I think she'll make a presence felt, but I doubt if she can beat the other 3-year-old. That, of course, is Merry Ruler, who on the tote is showing, let's say, odds of about 15 to 8. Which is going to pay $1.45 for 50 cents. I think he's a good thing. He's just under 2 to 1. I think he's going too well at the moment. Magic Flute is a 6 to 1 chance on the tote, coming in now to about 11 to 2. Let's go up to the top. Riverdale, that great old campaigner, he's getting out, say about 11 to 2. 12 to 1, a bit like her. 16 to 1 now, Dazzling Duke. Max Treasure, it's outclassed, getting out to 80 to 1. Campaign King is at 8 to 1. A bit of a firmer now, Korea Bay, the New Zealander. He's well tried in the ring as well, John. He's into 7 to 1. Drawn is at 15 to 1 and blowing. 30 to 1 Roman Artist, 16 Kenny Lass. As I said, about 15 to 8 Merry Ruler, and 11 to 2 Magic Flute. John, do you like Merry Ruler yourself? I certainly do.
Oh, sure, Ken. Impossible to go past him. What a great record he's got. 15 starts for 5 wins, 5 seconds, 5 thirds. Never out of the money. I don't know a racehorse owner in the world who doesn't dream of a horse like that. Now, A Bit Like Her and Roman Artist are the two we're waiting on to come up into line. A Bit Like Her, switching back in distance. He's had a funny preparation, A Bit Like Her. His last run was last Saturday at 2,000 metres in the Rawson Stakes. So he's got a big job coming back to 1,500, but these New Zealand trainers are pretty astute. You should never sell them short. Ready? Campaign King stands well. I think Kenny Lass might run a better race here. The gates open, they're off, and it is a beautiful start in the George Ryder Stakes with Kenny Lass a fraction slow, if anything. Magic Flute bounded out in front of Roman Artist and Max Treasure. Courier Bay cruising up along the rail into a prominent spot, and Dazzling Duke is out 3 deep in the early part. Courier Bay has crashed through the running rail. Courier Bay has knocked a panel of running rail right down, and he fell straight back through the field, and how he stayed on his feet I will never know. A very roughly run George Ryder Stakes at the 1,000 mark, and Roman Artist had now breezed to the lead. In front by 2 lengths or a bit more to Magic Flute, with Dazzling Duke in 3rd place. Kenny Lass is moving up with a nice run on the outside of Max Treasure, followed by Campaign King. Strange to see Riverdale up in the middle of the field at the 800 mark, and further back is Drawn. Then Merry Ruler, followed by A Bit Like Her and Courier Bay, the Kiwi, lucky to stay up in that sensational incident in the early stages. 600 out as they near the turn, and Roman Artist is the leader. Magic Flute second, Dazzling Duke third, followed by Kenny Lass, Riverdale, Max Treasure hard ridden, and then Merry Ruler about the take-off. He'll have to go 4 deep on the turn, and Drawn at the head of the others, but around the corner, and the 3-year-old filly Magic Flute is about to move up and take the lead from Roman Artist, and they're well clear. Kenny Lass in 3rd place, running on strongly, and then Dazzling Duke, followed by Campaign King, and Merry Ruler not doing enough to win. Magic Flute headed Roman Artist coming again, and Campaign King is going to beat them both. Campaign King on the outside, breezed to the lead close to home, and Campaign King has annihilated them in the George Ryder. Little Drawn has flashed up. He might get second, a nose in front of Magic Flute, who looked all over a winner in the straight. Merry Ruler couldn't come on, and then Roman Artist followed by Kenny Lass and Riverdale. Further back is Max Treasure, and hopelessly tailed off is Courier Bay. Now let's have a look at him. I'll be very surprised if he hasn't got a bit of skin off somewhere. What a sensational incident. I don't know what caused it. He was, in fact, I was just about to utter the words Courier Bay scooting up along the rails to be about 3rd or 4th, when suddenly he sat down like a dog begging. His rump seemed to hit the turf, and I saw glinting in the sun the gold aluminium running rail at Rose Hill as he dislodged a complete panel. Gee, the steward's report on that will be bigger than Gone with the Wind. Oh, he looks very tender behind too as he pulls up, and the rider is dismounted immediately. Well, this horse, Johnny Marshall, won't feel too good. He could have ridden this, got off it to ride Merry Ruler. This horse has got a great record, Campaign King. He's won 14 out of 28. Most of those wins have been in Victoria. and he beat all but Placid Arc in the Canterbury Stakes a fortnight back. And look at the start he gave Magic Flute and Roman Artist here. He picked up 3 or 4 lengths on those leaders in double quick time. Mick Dittman on Campaign King, picking up the ride at the expense of John Marshall. Little Drawns in 4th place, running home hard. Merry Rule about to get to 5th on the outside, but a well-beaten 5th. And it's Campaign King, who's a big strider, a chestnut with a baldy face, careering away in the last bit to score a brilliant win and take his record to 14 out of 28, Ken. It's a great score.
It certainly is, John. Yeah, well, you've seen those 2 replays, and all honours with the winner, Campaign King. Who knows what Courier Bay could have done? He certainly was knocked out of the race. It was hard to find excuses for Merry Ruler. I don't know if he suffered anything from the scrimmage, but he seemed to be close enough if you go on his recent form on the home turn. But, well, he didn't show that zip that he used to. It was great to see Drawn show his old form, a flash of his old form, and dive through right at the finish to grab 2nd place over Magic Flute. And, well, with the Randwick Carnival coming up, we could see Drawn winning over the Randwick Carnival. John, I reckon we've just about got the tape in the right position now to have a look at the incident involving Courier Bay. Johnny.
All right, Kenny, yeah, I'm busting to see this now. Soon after the start, he's running about 4th on the rail. He jumped straight up in the air. Now, watch him go down behind. He skated along on his hocks, I reckon, for 70 or 80 metres. He sat down like a dog begging. Now, watch the rail buckle. It's like licorice. The aluminium running rail just bends like licorice when a horse hits it that hard, and he dislodged 1 complete panel of fencing. Now, I'll tell you what, how the hell racing ever survived in the old days with those hardwood running rails is beyond my comprehension. I'm going to make a statement here and now, and we've just seen further testimony to this. The aluminium running rail, in my opinion, is the single most dramatic innovation in thoroughbred racing in the world in our time. Just imagine the injury to horse and rider that can now be avoided by the use of that aluminium rail, which gives. It is so flexible that it just folds like a licorice stick. Now look at this horse, Courier Bay. Holy smoke, just an amazing incident. He goes right down here behind, and he seems to be sitting on his rump for a short distance. The rail just flies high there, and 1 panel goes crashing to the turf in a remarkable incident. Impossible to tell side on, of course, whether that was caused by pressure from the outside or what, but the stewards no doubt will open the inquiry immediately, and as I said earlier, the stewards' report on that race will be a very comprehensive one. 3 3/4 lengths the winning margin, with half ahead 2nd and 3rd. The numbers, of course, are 5, 7 and 11. 1:28.9 is the time in the George Ryder. It's a new race record. It takes 8 tenths off Heat of the Moment's race record established last year. Kenny, tell me about the next one.
Well, this is a hard race. I reckon there's 8 or 9 chances, but I'm not going to dog it. I'm going to have a tip. And the horse I've come up with is TAB number 11, Cativo, who is trained by Colin Hayes and will be ridden by Michael Clark. Cativo has had 3 runs since the spell, and at his last run, he finished 3rd at Flemington to Major Drive. And he meets that horse considerably better on the weights today. During the week at Randwick, he's been working with Attalac, and although you wouldn't expect him to beat Attalac on the track, I'm told that Cativo has just about held his own. That's good enough for me. He should be a little bit of value. TAB number 11, Cativo.
Thank you, Ken, and that's the Newman Mannion Cup that he's talking about, and the mare is trained by Colin Hayes, Cativo. Don't go away. We'll be back in a minute with the world's strongmen.
About a length or so, and Flaming Wonder bounced out quickly. Radita getting back through the field. Overland Boy joins Flaming Wonder. It's inside and draws to the lead on settling. Conceited Man is up there bright and early. Feeder R from a tardy start goes right through between the field and has gone to the lead on settling down. It's Feeder R last to first after about 400 metres. Scotch Caper goes up quickly, and here's another leader going on around the outside. True Star ridden up to the lead today. Led by 2 on settling at the 1400. In second position, Feeder R. Third, Scotch Caper. fourth Overland Boy. Moving up in that division too is, as they work along the side, Diamond Zone. They were followed by Flaming Wonder between Pamfield out wide and on the rail Hollinger. Next behind those Stanamar from Dexterous, about a length and a half further back in the field then came Conceited Man, getting back to about 6th and 7th last. With it Bourbon Boy, Muffler further back in the field, and they were followed by Mighty Verdict, then Delonte, and last of all is Redita. Onto the side they race now, going past the 850 zone, and here the leader is True Style, a length and a half. Feeder are camped on it. In third, Posse Overland Boy, ridden up. Then over on the outside, Scotch Caper, followed by Flaming Wonder, niggled at though. Hollinger, Conceited Man around them the top here. Diamond Zone giving ground, and over on the inside, Hollinger sticking on. Then Stanamar as they pack behind the leaders, coming to the swing into the straight. Then Pamfield shuffled back, Bourbon Boy, followed by Delonte, Mighty Verdict, Redita. On the swing now, and True Style just the leader, but under Saffron's grabbing at Scotch Caper. Scotch Caper pounces on True Style and dives to the lead. Overland Boy off the rail behind them, runs up to third. Feeder are struggling, Stanamar, Hollinger, Bourbon Boy coming from well back. Conceited Man can't go on. And then further back to Dexterous and Co. But Scotch Caper is going strongly, flying home, Bourbon Boy. Bourbon Boy after Scotch Caper. No, it's his Caper, Scotch Caper. He's there. A half, three-quarters, Bourbon Boy. 3 away to Stanamar. Delonte flashed up with Overland Boy. Conceited Man battled on well. Feeder are not that far away. Hollinger, Dexterous and Muffler. Then True Style, and they were followed by Pamfield, Mighty Verdict. Well back Redita, Diamond Zone, and Flaming Wonder is pulled up towards the tail, beating only a couple in.
And the numbers as called by Ron Paps, 10, 2 and 11.
For the South Yarra Handicap. The lights on, they're racing. Foamy Ocean was first out on the inside. Glowing Idol and Carawan were both a bit slow to get going. Foamy Ocean led Scots Lane and Russ getting away well, Real Purpose. They were followed then by Brisk behind those horses as Scots Lane takes over the lead. Settling down over the hill, Scots Lane 2 lengths to Real Purpose, and Escondida to the outside, Foamy Ocean and Aussie Consul up with that bunch of horses too. Silver Shark over on the outside, and a length further back is Brisk. Glowing Idols moved into the centre of the field but trapped a bit deep from Carawan. They were followed further back in the field then towards, back at the rear is Raining Aces as they came down the side of the track. Productivity just in front of it with Mr. Ben. The leader still bowling along in front, Scots Lane, as they went to the 800. It's about a length in front of Real Purpose on the inside. Aussie Consul moving up 3 or 4 deep with Escondida, and they'll follow a length to Foamy Ocean. Back behind those horses then came making some ground Carawan from Glowing Idol. Silver Shark given a crack with the whippers dropping out of it from Productivity, and then came Raining Aces. On the corner, Escondida out wide out after Scots Lane, who turned a length and a half clear. They were followed by Carawan down the outside from Foamy Ocean. Real Purpose got badly checked, couldn't get a run. With about 200 to go, Scots Lane clear of Foamy Ocean, Escondida, Carawan and Raining Aces. Scots Lane hanging on to the lead. Here's Productivity with a late run. Scots Lane in front near the line. Productivity flying to it, won't make it. Scots Lane beat Productivity. Foamy Ocean third, Raining Aces fourth. Behind them, Carawan and Mr. Ben down the outside from Escondida. Long gap to Real Purpose, Aussie Consul, Brisk, Silver Shark, and last of all, the top weight, Glowing Idol. Official placings for the South Yarra Handicap. The judges call for the photo to separate Scots Lane on the inside from Productivity and Foamy Ocean behind them in third placing. No doubt Scots Lane has won the money, leading over the greater portion of the trip, won by about Longhead half a neck, I suppose.
4 and 11, Scots Lane $4.65 and $1.35, Productivity $2.10, Foamy Ocean $1.85, Quinella $26, Trifecta $446.70. Shortly, the approximate dividends for the TAB double. In the interim, back to Cork.
And away they go. Just a little tardily out was Postage Due, and immediately Loving Devotion drops out to last. Mother Duck straight to the lead by a length, now half length. Postage Due going quickly to second, a length and a half away. Third is Virtue, followed on the inside by Tennessee Vane. Shiana Miss not travelling well, then Loving Devotion, English Garden is last. As they travel about 500 metres, and Mother Duck, she's keen to race. She's about 3 lengths now on Postage Due. 2 lengths to Tennessee Vane on the inside of Virtue, then Shiana Miss, Loving Devotion, and Absolute being English Garden to the 600 metres. And Johnston has a good hold on Mother Duck. She's about 2 lengths Postage Due, 3 lengths Tennessee Vane on the inside, and then Virtue followed by Shiana Miss, Loving Devotion and English Garden. They're travelling onto the home bend. And Mother Duck allowed rain now. 3 lengths clear on Postage Due. Tennessee Vane third and then Virtue. 300 metres out now. Johnston shaking up Mother Duck about a length and a half the break on Postage Due. And Tennessee Vane on the outside running a good race. Postage Due came out, hampered Tennessee Vane slightly. Mother Duck, she's starting to get wary. Tennessee Vane and Postage Due have got a measure. Tennessee Vane on the outside doing better than Postage Due, and Tennessee Vane will win the money. Tennessee Vane draws away on the line, wins at a half-length. Postage Due. Mother Duck wilted to run third, and then came Loving Devotion, English Garden, Virtue, and Absolute Shianamis.
Well, Tennessee Vane, too good there in race number 6 on the card. That's a filly that we have seen in Melbourne. And had she not beaten Postage Due there, I venture to say she would have got it on protest. The numbers are 3, 1 and 2, as called by Ian Craig. And you can see Tennessee Vane stretching out after being hampered by the top weight with about 150 metres to run, but she went to the post full of running.
They're off this time, no harm done, and away they go with Knight's Hero a little slow. Specific Aim getting back in the early part, and so was Naples Jim, but on settling down, going quickly, Lord of the Stars the inside, and Mavlaw Miss joint leaders. Just in behind them, but wide, Coronation Comedy, and with them Rackwell's Choice pulling off the heels of one in front. They're racing at tight quarters. Around the outside of the field, they're going up into the action too. Rackwell's Choice towards the lead, but as they settle down, Naples Jim, the hurdler, a last start hurdle winner at Clare, goes up to head them all. Naples Jim at the 1,000 draws out 2 in front. Mavlaw Miss, Rackwell's Choice the rail, and around them Coronation Comedy doing it hard 3 wide. Now runs to second. Around the outside Maud Sentiment, they were followed by Brummell's Best, Lord of the Stars, getting back in the field. Further back was Specific Aim, Lady Britannia out deep just ahead of it. And then came Catchman, who's one of the last as they race down the side from Knight's Hero. Before the turn, Naples Jim just the leader. Rackwell's Choice is up there, and so too Coronation Comedy. Going through in the inside there is Mavlaw Miss, and on its outside Maud Sentiment. They come to the turn clear then of Lady Britannia working up into the race out deep. Maud Sentiment going up ahead of it, but as they swing, it's Naples Jim headed by Coronation Comedy, but it's flat. Mavlaw Miss coming at it with Maud Sentiment, and down the outside trying hard as Specific Aim, and also Lady Britannia coming quickly. Lady Britannia out after Mavlaw Miss, who heads off Coronation Comedy, and Specific Aim at the outside. Lady Britannia runs to Mavlaw Miss, gets on turns, puts the nose in front, wins the day. Lady Britannia in the last hop by Matthews, a competent ride. Second, Mavlaw Miss, third Specific Aim, although they're wide apart. Then Coronation Comedy, followed further back Catchman, and Maud Sentiment, Knight's Hero. And in that division too was Naples Jim, not a bad run, the hurdler, Brummell's Best, and further back Rackwell's Choice and Lord of the Stars.
Okay, and as called by Ron Paps, 7, 3 and 11, but it's very tight for second there, so it'll be 7 and a photo. And the winner is number 7, and that is Lady Britannia. Very tight for second between Mavlaw Miss, which is over on the inside, and the horse on the outside looks clearly to have run second from this angle, but the camera a fair way back from the post, and that is Specific Aim. So we'll wait on those official numbers in Adelaide, but 7, 3, 11 as called by Ron Paps.
Luther's Luck about to be brought forward. Prentice G. Millard brings him to the line. The old fellow pulls away. Well, he's only 6, he's not so old, but he's won a lot of races. Matter of fact, Luther's Luck backs right away from the line, some half a dozen lengths away. They settle well in the stalls. Lights on. They're racing at the first attempt. Drury's Son a bit slow on it, and Luther's Luck have dropped out to last. Potoy bounced out in front on the inside. Celso and Ramify got away quite nicely. They're followed by Glen Morriston Force, and then came Alternate Bowlane the outside from Royal Scepter, 2 to Desperate Sweep, 1 to Flash Habit. A length and a half, Drury's Son and Luther's Luck together. At the 1100 down the hill, Potoy the leader. A length to Ramify, a length and a half away Celso in the box seat. 2 lengths Glen Morriston. Then Alternate Bowlane, 3 deep round the outside, 2 to Royal Scepter. Another couple to Flash Habit, Desperate Sweep. A length to Luther's Luck and 3 lengths to Drury's Son. Past the 700 they race, and Potoy about a half length to Ramify, about to take him on. They've got 3 lengths in front of Celso, a length and a half. Bow Lane has never been on the track. Then Alternate, Hard Ridden, Glen Morriston dropping out. Royal Scepter going forward from Flash Habit. Luther's Luck called on for his effort, moving past Desperate Sweep and 2 to Drury's Son. Ramify the leader with 500 out on the corner. In second place, Po Toy. Celso coming after them. 2 lengths to Royal Scepter, running on well. 3 lengths to Bow Lane. Luther's Luck to the outside, starting to make up his ground, and then Alternate. At the 250, Ramify in front of Celso, followed by Royal Scepter. Old Luther's is not knuckling down as well as he should. Royal Scepter's going better than anything. This much improved galloper, Royal Scepter, has swept to the lead from Celso, and Royal Scepter pushed right out, is going to win from Celso. Ramify third from Po Toy, Alternate. Luther's Luck was next, Drury's Son, and then Flash Habit, a gap to Bow Lane, Desperate Sweep and Glen Morriston. Official placings for the 7th event, the Monash Welter. Number about to be semaphore. Number 3, Royal Scepter, ridden by El Morn, was first. Number 3, Royal Scepter, El Morn first. Number 6, Celso. C. Din was second. And number 10, Ramify, ridden by M. Barlow third. 3, 6 and 10. They've run 125. And gee, he's a vastly improved horse, Royal Scepter. He's racing particularly well. He's coming back from 1900 in the Canterbury Cup, where he ran third. Today to 1400, and he's won it very, very well. Before that, he'd won a 1600.
$30 trifecta, $370.35, race 7 at Caulfield, and the TAB double, incidentally, will pay $12.15. Now, time for the footy scores. Ian Craig.
Having his first Australian run, Rastus. Off. Not a bad break. Rastus away pretty well, and so too was Beal Bangara. Essential ridden along by Beedman in the early stages, and See Pictures trying to find a posse. Now, it's going to be Essential in front as they come inside the 200 metres. It's break a couple of lengths on Beal Bangara, third Rastus and fourth Commercial Balance. Silver Award fifth on the inside, a length the See Pictures, Indian Raj next on the rails. 1 to Fox Seal, wider out Reckless Tradition, Travel Light on the inside, then Rising Fear Cativo. From Tristram's Edition, third last being Major Drive, second last Sprightly Native, and King Chaos last. Out of the straight they travel and going to the crossing at the 1800, and the leader is Essential, a bit over a length on Commercial Balance. Beal Bangara third and travelling fourth Rastus. Fifth on the inside is Silver Award, and then Indian Raj angled a horse off the fence now to get into a striking position. 1 further back comes on the inside Travel Light, and behind those next is Rising Fear, followed by See Pictures covering ground. The fence is Cativo and then Fox Seal, followed by Tristram's Edition, then Major Drive, Reckless Tradition, second last Sprightly Native, and King Chaos last. Working past the 14 as they enter the back, and Essential lopes along, one of the roughies. 3/4 on Commercial Balance, a length of Beal Bangara, followed fourth by Rastus, then another grey in the race on the inside, Silver Award. Indian Raj getting the run of the race, 1 to See Pictures, and then comes Rising Fear and Travel Light, a length Cativo, Fox Seal, Reckless Tradition, and then comes Major Drive inside of Tristram's Edition, second last being King Chaos, and old Sprightly Native drops out last. Running onto the next bend at the 950, and Essential still leading out 3/4 of a length on Commercial Balance. Third posse is still occupied by Beal Bangara, then Rastus. A further 2 lengths to Indian Raj, being sooled up now and is getting within about 5 lengths of the lead, followed by See Pictures. On the rails next is Silver Award, then King Chaos, Fox Seal, a length Rising Fear, Travel Light dropping back from Reckless Tradition, Tristram's Edition, and then Sprightly Native, Cativo second last, and Major Drive, Stone Motherless. Onto the corner they run at the 500 metres, and Essential looks history here. Commercial Balance races up on the outside with Rastus, and further out on the track is Indian Raj, straightening now, 350 to go.